Proverbs chapter 30, 14 and 15, it says, "There is a generation whose teeth are like swords, and whose fangs are like knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men." I'm sorry, let's go back. 11. So, Proverbs 30 and 11. There's a generation that curses its father and does not bless its mother. There's a generation that is pure in its own eyes, yet is not washed from its filthiness. There's a generation, oh, how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There's a generation whose teeth are like swords and whose fangs are like knives, to devour the poor from off the earth and the needy from among men. We'll stop there. Let me explain. Those are the times we're in. Look at social media. Look all the things that you're seeing. Look at all the hatred, the malice, the mean spiritedness of people. It's going to tell you everything you need to know. The Bible tells us, by their fruit you shall know them. The Bible warns about rejoicing in evil, rejoicing when you see someone hurt. Aha, aha, so we have had it. It's dangerous. When you're in a generation where you see people that just don't care about things, it's frightening to me. I don't care. You've got to be the worst kind of person. You understand? And I just don't understand the amount of hatred I'm seeing on the internet. But it was an eye opener, and I need us to really pay attention to that. When you see people who are in prestigious positions spewing vile words and being joyful in the demise of anybody, okay, of any person, I think it's frightening. It's frightening. And the reason why I find that frightening is because I've been in close proximity of something like that before. I just remember someone being, and I've said this before, the person had just an ongoing conflict with this person. I think the person was like a provocateur to them. As far as I know, the person might have been disrespectful towards them in certain ways. I believe they felt that they were not being properly supported or protected. And this person seemed to have had the upper hand. And then this person died in a terrible car accident and just mangled. The jaws of life had to be brought out to cut them out, and they were dead. And just for some reason, this person who never talked to this person, wanted nothing to do with them, just all of a sudden just hopped up and was ready to go to the funeral. Come to find out, long story short, they just wanted to go to the funeral to look at the person in the casket and tell them it's over. When I heard this and I saw the person say it, I remember being so frightened because of what I saw, how their face looked. It was so frightening. I saw their eyes open big when they said it, and it just scared me. I remember how I felt. I felt this that my stomach, like it dropped, I guess. You know, it feels like when you're in a roller coaster ride or like a free fall, and then you go up and then that drop, I felt that drop, and my heart did this burning thing, and I was so terrified. And I got to just witness this person just attending funerals of people that they don't talk to and making sure they go to the casket. And in my head, I always think, are they going up there to say that too? Because they weren't in good standing with this person. People like that are frightening and scary. And as I told you in a previous video, I try to continue connecting with the individual because of who they were. But life just taught me, hey, you gotta let this go, man. You gotta let this go. Because a lot of times whenever I reconnect, a series of unfortunate events will begin to happen in my life. Okay. But this, what you're seeing, and maybe you work with some people and you're hearing them speaking, and maybe you live among people and you see their indifference, taking away the subject matter of who they're talking about, just know this is who they are. Look at them and how they think, because it could be you next time. They have this darkness within them. And some people are in healthcare, some people are teaching your children, some people are just in church leaders. But when you're thinking, why is this? I go right back to the scripture. There's a generation they're evil. And what it is, it's an unmasking. It's not by chance. The Bible tells us, by their fruit you shall know them. So when you see people do certain things, just pay attention, make a note. Because you got to think, you will be next. They'll do that to you too. You got to be afraid of anybody. That means they'll stand there and watch you slipping, and your hands are slipping off of a banister to fall down the steps, and they might just to fall down into your death, and they'll step on your foot or just look at you. It's evil. It's not about the topic at hand or the subject at hand or the subject matter. What you look at is the spirit that emerges. That's what you look at. The spirit that comes to the forefront. The spirit that is actually destroying that person, because the spirit masquerades behind their face and they're doing all these things. But when they reap the consequences of it, that spirit is not going to have any problems. That evil demon is not going to have any problems, because it goes around to kill, steal, and destroy. It will use you to destroy and to say and to do things. And then you are wrecked, and then it goes to the next person. The biggest thing a lot of people tend to forget is that our battle is not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and the rulers of the darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in high places. A lot of times people don't believe that happens. So that's why they keep getting hit over the head with a loaf of bread by certain forces, because they're bringing a knife to a sword fight, or bringing a knife to a gunfight. But what we're actually seeing is the unmasking. What we are actually seeing is the emergence, or the manifestation. That's the word. The manifestation of the evil within. Just like what I saw with this person. It scared me so bad. That spirit popped out, and they look so different just for like a split second. That's why I froze. It, not only the words were shocking, but it's how they looked when they said it. It was just like a frightening manifestation, a face that was so, ooh, girl, ooh, yo, I'll never forget it. I could see it to this day. You know what? Let me tell you this. I also remember seeing this face another time. How do I put this without revealing anything? Let's just say I was somewhere and people were happy to see me, give me hugs, all that stuff. I had been gone for a bit or whatever, and then as they were all gathered around me, talking to me, these people talking to me and like looking at me, oh, you look good, blah, 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 what's going on? How's it been? Nadia. I happened to look up just for a split second, and I saw this look. Oh man, it scared me. You hear me? The person was looking at me with such hatred. But it looked like a mask was on their face. You know what I mean? Like this ugly mask. Like this, they're just looking like I hadn't even done anything to them. We had no beef. Yo, we had no beef. I looked up because I was wondering where they were. Like, yo, where they at? I look up and I see this horrifying, I'll never forget. Everybody else was just facing me, talking to me, blah, blah, blah. And they were not even in the crowd. Now I'm thinking about it, like, why were you all the way over there and not over here with everybody else? And I looked and I saw that scary face again, and it was gone just in that split second. Like, oh, hi. How you doing? Okay. So let me tell you something. That's evil. That's just like people can function and look normal. And they'll be walking around looking normal and doing normal things. But their spirit is not right. So it takes something to happen that while they're thinking that they're actually getting the upper hand, they're exposing themselves. And what you're seeing is the wicked generation that the Bible talks to us about. They're wicked, they're unfeeling, they're indifferent, they don't care. And count it a blessing when you see that. Count it a blessing when you encounter someone like that. When you encounter them, and it's frightening though, for real. But when you have a coworker that's like, then that's a good eye opener. When somebody that you thought was spiritual, they talk a certain way, that's your eye opener. And you need to believe them. By their fruits you shall know them. You stay away from them. You approach with caution if you have to be around them. It lets you know what's in them. That stuff manifested, and it is what it is. And so you just have to be prayerful about who you talk to, who you have around you. And it makes sense now to me why there's not a lot of people around me. I mean, I have people around me, but there's not a lot of traffic coming in and out of my home, and I'm not around a lot of people, and even people that I would consider to be my friends who I've reached out to and be like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you realize, okay, it is what it is, Stop being Miss Molly McCheerios. I don't want to talk to you like that. Or they're not interested, or they have other things going on. So you just don't. A lot of times God is simply keeping you safe because there's evil among us. And they come looking normal. They come bringing you pies. They come talking nice. They come talking scripture. All of this stuff. But boy, when that spirit manifests and show itself, believe him. Going to be shocked. But at the same time, the Lord already told us. He told us we're going to be in a time when people's heart have waxed cold. They're just going to be cold on feeling indifferent, just horrible. And that's what we're seeing now. I think what we have to do is just be prayerful and ask God to keep us safe, cover us under his blood, and that we do not become discouraged and fall away. I hope this makes sense. I think this video was shorter than the other. Thank you for watching, and God bless.